In this video, I'm going to share my reaction to Grant Cardone's how to close a $30,000 sale over the phone video that he posted on June 18th, 2021. And by watching until the end, you're going to discover why that video is only a fraction, a tiny fraction of the truth so that you can have a better chance of making your very own $30,000 sale. Hey, but before we jump in, my name is Manny Vargas. If you haven't headed down there and hit the subscribe button just yet, go ahead and take care of that for me. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Hey, it's all good. It's feedback. It works both ways. And last but not least, make sure you hit that fun notification bell so that you can be notified each and every time we post some new content on how to develop some sales appeal, if you know what I'm saying. And now let's rock and roll. Okay, so recently I came across this video that Grant Cardone posted about how to close a $30,000 sale over the phone. And it was a short clip and to the point. And let me just tell you right here, big pause. Ooh, it's incomplete. And why this is so intense and fueling inside of my heart is because there are people that come to the table that may have never even learned or studied or had the privilege of being in any type of a sales environment. And then they watch this video. And then the interpretation is that is how it's done. It is in a micro fragment of a time frame, and it's just about pounding on somebody and asking them this question, and then the deal is sealed. And that couldn't be but the furthest from the truth. Now, I actually happen to have studied a lot of Grant Cardone stuff. He's been very helpful in a lot of my development as a professional in the world of sales over the last several years. So by no means is this one of those. This is simply helping anyone who's watching this today to understand that there is just a lot of information in that video that is missing. All right, so let's check this out. The first thing is that what's not being considered under these circumstances for this particular video is all of the relationship equity that had been built up to the point of him getting on the phone and asking that question while getting him to say, okay, let's do it. Hey, how about the fact that the sales rep, Todd, was working that deal ideally from inception point? And if, which I'm highly assured that this is the case, there was marketing that happened before that, and probably whether that was digital marketing or there was some sort of content marketing, or maybe even the rep, Todd, or whoever that rep actually was putting out some sort of cold calling efforts to help build that relationship equity. That starts from the very beginning. So this whole notion that you transition from selling to closing is bogus, because remember this, ladies and gentlemen, you're closing from the very beginning. It's not like, hey, we're in the middle of the sales process and then we transition to closing and all of a sudden I start hammering you and beating you upside the head. If you subscribe to that, that's okay. And I ain't mad at you, because remember, sales is sales, and there's just different types of sales strategies. And each and every one of us has probably a different type of sales strategies. And that's what I'm sharing with you here, is a different strategy on how to evaluate this. So going back to that, you're closing from the very beginning, and what you're doing, your presence, your smile, your demeanor, your tone is already starting to warm up and close the prospect at the onset. Now, throughout the sales process, as it hits multiple markers down the field, I want you to think of a football field. If you have a kickoff and the ball is kicked by the team that's just scored and the receiving team catches it, they run 10 yards, they're down at the 25-yard line, and now what? You have to move the football as a unit, as a team down the field. It could be by one Hail Mary for 60 yards and then a couple of yards on a touchdown. It could be by runs for 5 yards, for 10 yards, 15 yards. Either way, there's a process to get you to the end zone. And so in this case, I know for a fact that in this closing deal that they shared in this quick little short, that there was a full-blown effort long before, long before Grant ever got on that call, to where that guy was just probably like on the edge and he could have been nudged over to say, absolutely, I'm going to do this anyway. So it's very important that we as sales professionals, whether you're new and you're watching this for the first time, or you're experienced and you understand that that isn't in total how it works, but there's a lot of value that gets built up before that process gets to that stage where somebody can say, yeah, I closed the deal. Okay. Because at the end of the day, you're closing from the very beginning, from the very first moment you meet somebody, all the way through the middle part of the process in developing value and putting a presentation together and setting yourself up. What could be over, who knows? No idea how long the sales cycle was, but when it comes to actually fulfilling that duty, just know that it's not as simple as just asking a question to close somebody. And that is the finalized part of the process where that's just how it works. And so, in order to keep people on their toes, and in order for people to be able to understand that there is a way and a process to this, just like a football team marching down the field to score a touchdown, there's different ways to do it. But usually it doesn't happen without many other things in the process that preceded that to set it up to that point. And so if I only showed you stepping over the end zone, you say, well, great, how did they get there? Well, what did the team, the football team in this case, what did they do in the huddle? And what was their preparation like backtracking before the game? And in fact, what was their film preparation like from 4 days before that in the locker room studying that play to get to the point to actually score? So I want you all to understand that that is about giving the right information in its context and in its completion, because by no means is it just, hey, I closed you and that's it. And I would really be upset if somebody watched this for the first time and they're like, yep, that's how I communicate with people. That's how I go out and I just close them and it's game over, finalized. Nope. Please don't be that person. So just take what I said to heart right there. Hey, by the way, if you're liking what I'm saying right now, head down there and give us one of these guys here, the thumbs up or the thumbs down. By the way, I always say that because I love feedback either way. And I know each and every one of you have your own unique personalities. For some of you, it will resonate. And for some of you, you'll be like, dude, you're crazy, Manny. And that's all good too. But I would also like to know, hey, how would you have handled this? Like, what are your thoughts on this take that I've just shared with you here? Are you from the very beginning closing? Are you transitioning at some middle point of the sales process? Do you think in terms of all closing? Share with me your thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to see it. I'll make some more videos for you all that way so we can evaluate how that looks and take it from there. But in the meantime, I made another video right over here for you to check out on how I collected $61,000 from a 2-day event. In fact, I was selling $30,000 programs. So I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Take care. Have a great day. Much love. Bye-bye.